Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I've just been planning Amelia's. I'm whispering because she's downstairs. Planning a birthday. I love birthdays. Birthdays are important to me. I've just booked some paddleboarding sessions. I've got a family coming down, her mum, her brother, and her brother's partner. And I've just booked some paddleboarding sessions for the Saturday morning. It's going to be so funny to see her mum on the paddleboard, and just obviously we'll have fun as well. But as soon as I'd booked it and sent it in this little private group, she was laughing and her brother was laughing, and obviously at this. But it's going to be great. It's going to be such good fun. I'm so excited for it.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Love it. Doesn't she listen to this occasionally?
Oh, come on. I mean, occasionally is like once.
Okay, got it.
She might do, but, she just likes to give me shit.
Awesome. Well, Tim, I know you had, we always have guys reaching out to us. And guys, we're going to start encourage you guys to do that more on the Facebook group in particular. But, also we're going to be setting up a Q&A style here. So, Tim, I know you pulled out one of those questions, and let's answer it for this gentleman on the show.
Yeah. So obviously I'm going to keep this gentleman anonymous. But he did reach out. He said, "Hi, Tim. Very random reach out. If you have any suggestions, it'd be great. I've been in the group for a while listening to some bits from afar, but always too busy, quote unquote, to make it a priority. My girlfriend and I have been together for nearly 9 years, and we have 2 boys aged 4 and 10 months. Since having children, our relationship has suffered to the point where we have mostly been cohabiting for the convenience of our lives as parents. This is why I think I joined the group. After lockdown 1, I had a mini breakdown, which I dealt with without seeking professional help, but I feel I bounced back strongly, but our relationship has not been magical for a while. I thought it was just a stage whilst we had young children and that we'd be fine, but Kate dropped a bombshell on me to say she thinks she wants to leave. I'm at least 95% certain we should both be trying to make it work somehow. I really don't want to break up the family and I still love her, but our relationship is flat. I'm not sure where to turn as I'm a pretty closed book when it comes to true feelings to outsiders, as I always wear a happy, optimistic face. Is there anything I can quickly do to at least give us a chance? I don't feel like we should throw everything away so easily. Thanks."
Wow. Yeah. Did you respond to him?
I just let him know that, message obviously isn't the right place for me to share all this. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to take this onto the Q&A session of the podcast, and you can get some mini coaching.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd be lying and dishonest if I didn't say the first thing I would tell him to do is get into an activation method yesterday, right? Get into our next group starting next month, right? So I think the next one's starting in June. So get into that next group immediately. And as soon as you sign up, should we give this guy a name? So I have someone to talk to. I'm calling him Ben. I'm calling him Ben. Okay. So, no disrespect to you, my friend, but keep your anonymity. So Ben is your name now. And Ben, I'm biased, right? But I'm biased. I would be lying if I didn't say I thought it was the best thing for you to do, right? Is get into an activation method. As soon as you sign up, the coaching begins, right? Your group may not start, right? We keep the groups down to 9 men maximum. So it's super small. It's very intimate. Your coaches are going to be, on top of you right away. But the coaching, essentially, the process starts as soon as you get on that first call. So that's the first place, right? Get into an activation method. And the reason I'm saying that is right now, the scales are tipped away from you, right? You can tell that the energy, momentum, inertia is going away from you. And your wife is getting ready to leave and break up the family and leave you. And that's obvious from, you said that. So you need to tip the scales back in your favor. And the best way I've ever seen to do it, and we're constantly working on the process as it goes, but it works 100% of the time, is to use the triad, right? The Triad of Connection, right? And really utilize that system. And the reason it's not only the system, but it's the coaching behind the system, because you get individual coaching on your particular, situation, so to speak. And we're going to give you some details. Don't worry. We're going to give you some details here on what you can do. But you really want to do that. It starts with the clean slate method, right? So you can start from scratch. Because what's happened here for Ben is it's clear that the negative feelings and experiences outweigh the positive ones in his relationship, or his wife wouldn't want to leave. It's a bottom line, right? 100% of the time. And so the scales are balanced out of his favor. So the clean slate method, when done properly, will level the scales, right? Levels the playing field. You get rid of the past. And then you want to really move into the hidden motives technique, right? And the hidden motives technique can take a little time, right? It can take a little time to get right. Because it's really getting you out of deer mode, right? So deer, again, is defending, explaining, excusing, and then reacting. Reacting is a big one for us guys. So getting out of deer mode and getting more into, what we call wolf, right? Getting in there. And the hidden motives technique is going to allow you to tip the scales in your favor, right? Positive feelings and experiences. And your wife's not going to know that you're doing something. I mean, you could tell her. Most of our guys don't. And their wife just starts going, wow, who is this man? Right? The thing we hear the most with going through the triad from guys is their wives are saying, finally, you're here. Finally, this is the man that I married, that I saw when I said I do. So we hear that a lot. And then the live like a king system is the third part of the triad, right? The live like a king system is going to allow you to keep this going and keep continuing momentum. Now, for Ben, I can't promise you that you're going to salvage this relationship, because frankly, sometimes it's too far gone, right? Your wife maybe have already exited and you don't know. There's all kinds of things that could happen. I don't know all your particulars, but I can guarantee you'll come out of this a better man with tools that you can use the rest of your life. So that's the first thing, Tim, I would start with is get your ass into an activation method as soon as possible, especially right now, because you're in kind of dire straits, right? Going through there.
Yeah, I'm just looking on his Facebook profile as we talk. It's incredible, isn't it? This guy's a fighter, literally. You never know what's going on beneath the surface, right?
Well,
sure. So the thing that was coming up for me is I was just looking back over the message as you were talking. Andre, you've got to get off the fence, dude. You've got to get off the fence. So you're saying I'm at least 95% certain we should both be trying to make it work somehow. Get off the fence. You've either you get to be 100% in that you're committed to making it work, or not. So I feel for you that's an area that I'd invite you to really look at. If you choose that this is something that you are committed to, then like Doug was saying, the triad, the live as a king system stands out to me because it's going to have you change your routines, which you must do for you, brother, as well. You've said that you're a pretty closed book when it comes to your true feelings. And I get that. I was for a long time as well. And the reality is the breakdown that you had back in lockdown 1, you might feel like that was the event that caused all this, but it wasn't. That's the symptom. The breakdown was the symptom of something going on inside of you that you get to shift. And the Live as a King system is going to really help you to do that. And, just to give you a snapshot, get some routines in place for yourself that are different, right? There's things that you're not usually doing, but you want to do for you. They're going to help you to be a better man. Around your morning routine in particular. We obviously give the guys the Alpha Rise and Shine routine, but do something around your morning routine. Something that's going to have her notice and look up and think, hang on a minute, something's changing over there. And do it for you. Don't do it to try and win her back, because the more you try and win her back, the more desperate and needy it's going to feel to her.
Yeah.
And the more she's going to not trust it, and the more she's going to want to leave. So if you are 100% in instead of 95 and you want to make this shift, start by making it a shift for you and do it for you and your kids. Because like you've said, you've got young children. And the other piece is you're saying that, it kind of came out of the blue. Honestly, dude, you're not been present to what's going on in your relationship because the chances are your wife's been giving you some warning shots for quite some time. And often when the guys are not present, it's because they're too busy. And you've even said it here. I've been in the group for a while and I'm just too busy to make it a priority. Well, honestly, it kind of sucks me to say this, but you've not made your wife a priority and you've seen that, and this is the result. So if you get to, again, I'm going to wrap this up, you get to get off the fence one way or another. You get to make these changes for you so that you're never at risk of a mini breakdown again. So you put yourself in the best possible position for you and for your kids. And if you are committed to figuring this out, then use what Doug was saying there, the clean slate. That'll help you a ton. And as Doug often says, be engaged but indifferent with this. Don't be needy with your wife and come clean about the ways in which you may have neglected her. Because right now, if you think that this came out of the blue for you, but you're saying you've been too busy and you use that as a defense with your wife, you're going to push her further away. She needs to see that you realize how your actions have impacted her. And she needs to see that your actions are going to be different because you need them to be different, not because they need to be different to win her back. That won't work.
100%. It's well said, Tim. I want to go back to that 95% comment because I think there's so many of us guys that can relate to that, right? I'm 95% sure we should be together. Your wife can tell, and what she's focused on is that 5% that's within you. And why should she trust her life to that 5%, right? If you're not committed to taking action to truly save the marriage and relationship, and that's doing everything you can. So you can be 95%, sure the relationship's going to work, but you need to be 100% into saving the marriage. You can't be, I'm 95 or 80 or whatever percent into saving this or doing whatever it takes. No, that's not heroic. That's not the hero that your wife's reading about in her romance novels or anywhere else. And it doesn't serve you. All you're doing is giving yourself a way out, right? You have one foot out the door. And the reason we do that, guys, is because we're scared of getting hurt. That's the real reason. I don't give a rat's crap if you're a fighter, if you're an artist or whatever, right? A guy's a guy. And the reason we do it is we're scared we're going to get hurt. And that 5% is our safety net. It's like our scared little child within us. You need to be 100% committed to saying, I will do whatever it takes to save this relationship. It's just like a business, right? As a business owner, you don't go, well, I'm going to do what's necessary maybe to save my company from failing. No, I can guarantee you that guy's company is going to fail. But if the guy who says, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and I do mean whatever it takes to make this company successful, I don't care if he's selling baseball cards, bubble gum, or he's doing coaching, whatever it is, that guy's going to be successful, right? One way or another, he will succeed. It's the same thing with this, right? Now, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to save your marriage, right? Because there's another person involved here, right? And there's a lot of history involved here. But I promise you that if you go all in, you'll at least walk away knowing you did everything. That reassurance of knowing that you did everything in your power as a man to salvage the relationship. You went to the dark places within inside of you. You went to the light places. You brought the light out, right? You stop making excuses about not having enough time, not having enough money, not having enough knowledge to be able to pay attention to my wife or whatever it is your wife's complaining about for you. Stop using those excuses and get the tools in your tool belt. Look, this guy, Tim, you say he's a fighter. I'm guessing MMA or what have you, right? So I used to do boxing and I've done MMA. So, when I have something that's weak in my game, I get another tool in my toolbox. If I don't know how to throw a right hook, I'm going to learn how to do it. I'm going to practice, and it's sloppy. I'm going to practice over and over again. I'm going to go to the gym more often, right? Practice my footwork, practice how to get away from a punch or a kick or recognize what's going on. And I'm going to study it. I'm going to work hard because you know what? Getting hit sucks. People don't like it. Otherwise they wouldn't defend themselves, right? Even fighters. But right now you're getting beat up in the ring of marriage and life, right? Get back into the dojo, right? And go full out. I wouldn't step in the ring with you, Ben, if I wasn't well trained, right? I wouldn't go, hey, I'm 95% committed to defending myself. No, man, I gotta be 100% committed to defending myself. That 5%, the guy never wins, right?
Mm-hmm. The reality is he's been committed to the wrong thing. He's
Yeah.
definitely doesn't sound like he's been committed to himself and his own personal routines, right? You know, we talk about living from the when guys come to us living from the outside in, right? The 5 territories, it's upside down. You've got business at the bottom, and above that, you've got wealth, then relationships, then health and self. Usually, you know, business takes up most of the time. It kind of rises to wealth a little bit, but it doesn't ever really get into the area of relationships. The power never rises that high. And that's living from the outside in, looking for validation from things outside of you to either fill you up or make you feel good or just gain significance, whatever it is. Whereas when you learn to live from the inside out, you flip that triangle, that pyramid on its head. And self is the base. Then it's health. Then it's relationship. Then it's wealth. Then it's business. And your power rises. And you start to really prioritize your own needs. And you come from a place of fullness. And your fullness overspills. It's the overspill that goes to your wife and your kids and everywhere else. And, you know, to say, hey, I've been too busy. Hey, it came out of the blue. Hey, 95%. These are all symptoms of a lack of commitment and also a lack of presence. The chances are you've not been taking care of yourself, and the breakdown usually will come, part of it anyway, will come from overwhelm because of some of those things. So I hope this helps. I know we've been a bit clear cutting with some of the feedback here, but I think it's important you get honest, direct feedback. And also, there's some, takeaways here, some action steps you can do, Ben, that will really shift things for you if you choose to do it. The other thing you could do is go back and listen to the podcast episode on the hidden motives technique. That isn't the first thing to do here, but have that tool in your toolkit. Go back and listen to the podcast episode on the clean slate method. That's one of the first things you can do. Go back and listen to the podcast episode on the Live as a King system. If I was you, I'd be hunting all of these out. I'd be looking in the Facebook group, looking under the unit section of the training videos. I'd be arming myself because I'd be 100% committed to fixing this by taking care of myself first.
Yeah, I'm going to double down on that, Ben. Like, we're not trying to pick on you, which is we see this so much with men, right? We're passionate about helping you. And so Tim and I get fired up about it because we know that a lot of things prevent guys from getting started, right? And excuses, we just see it day in and day out. So we're cutting through the BS, right? You're not holding your hand here. We're telling you exactly what you need to do. The activation method is by far the best thing. Get in one, right? We've offered, look, it's not about the money for me. It's not, if you join the activation method, it's not going to change, what Tim has for dinner or what I do on vacation or anything like that. It doesn't affect us at all in that way. It just affects you and your life and your family's life. That's why I'm talking about this. We offer all kinds of free groups, right? We've done all kinds of free programs, how to seduce your wife in 60 seconds, powerful marriage reset, all of these things we've offered for free to the community. And if you weren't in those or you missed those, right, we want to start asking yourself why, or if you didn't play full out, why. Now is the time to draw the line in the sand and be 100% committed to doing whatever it takes to get there. And I got to tell you, man, I'm in your corner. I'm 100% in your corner. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be passionate about this, right? I wouldn't get fired up about telling you what to do and how to help you if I didn't care, right? This would just be a boring conversation, but I'm fired up because I want you and I want the other guys that are in your situation to get out of it, because I was in a situation similar, right? Not with the kids at the time, but where my marriage wasn't working out and I didn't have the answers, right? There wasn't a powerful man at that time, right? There just wasn't. And I tried a ton of things and none of them seemed to work. And we had to piecemeal and put this together. And through this program and teaching this program and working with the other coaches as it's been developed, my marriage is on fire. And that bleeds over to the other areas. And that's why I get passionate about it, guys, is because I want you to have the same. So Ben, take some action, brother. Take some action. All right, gentlemen, I hope you like this Q&A style that we're going to start bringing. We do get tons of questions from you guys. We love them. right? We really do. We do our best to answer them. It's just so hard. And I'm not on Facebook that often in terms of answering messages, or LinkedIn. I get hundreds a day. I love it, guys. Really do. But we will try to put a better place to get those questions and answer them here on the podcast and give you guys some more episodes. I love feedback if you like this style, right? We do these not for Tim and I to hear each other, although it's great for us to always be in the conversation and get to chat. However, we do these for you guys, right? We do these to add value. So let us know what you think of this style and this format. And as always, leave us an authentic review wherever you find this, right? That's how other guys find this. If you like this podcast, you like this show, or on YouTube, leave a review, subscribe, right? We're going to keep bringing valuable content each and every week. And we're going to be actually doing more of these and possibly rolling this out to more of a daily situation for you guys. If you see value in it, we're open to doing that. So gentlemen, take some action. As always, leave a review. We'll see you next time on The Powerful Man Show.